Hello everyone, I am Tacet, and last week we ended up getting the new troop of Maraji Queen from the faction of Sunken Fleet. You could still obtain that, of course, at any time by simply opening some portals within the Sunken Fleet faction, and this is currently one of the best legends that is available from any faction, given that it is the only faction that currently has a 50% mana start troop. All of these troops are always extremely good to own, and this is the first one that you could obtain extremely easily simply by throwing some shards at it and getting it from a faction. So I figured I'd cover some teams for it, as there are quite a few things that it is relevant for. The first one that we should probably go over is doing it for Explore, probably like the very first thing that you would ever really try using it for. Just go to any kingdom that you really just want to explore in, go get something like a Explore element team, and simply just go through whatever hero class you want to go level with a Sunbird, a Firebomb, and the Maraji Queen. Maraji Queen does have a 50% mana start, which is applied to all elementals. Firebomb, while it already has all of its mana, is counted for an elemental bonus. And of course, the main noteworthy thing that this is used for is Sunbird, in order to feed it its half mana, in order to be able to get the kill even quicker by simply casting your Sunbird, only needing half its mana. So I end up taking that, casting it out, normally taking about 2 shots, and just going from there, repeating the cycle, and just killing everything out, rinse, repeat, and do that for all of your Explore wins. And that is one of the easiest setups, really, that is still pretty easy to obtain, even from a early mid-game kind of perspective, since you could just simply use orange orbs to get the second and third traits on the Maraji Queen, while every other component is super easy to obtain within the team. As far as some PvP stuff, let's go over to this and mess around with this first team. This one will be utilizing Rope Dart, however you can use just about any other yellow weapon there. The best probably being if we ever get a yellow Doom weapon. That would probably go right there in that first slot when we eventually get that. However, that doesn't currently exist, unfortunately. But basic premise of this team is, of course, one really good thing that Maraji Queen ended up bringing into the game when it was added is it now allows the Guardian troops, the 6 Guardians, to now have half mana starts. There are elemental constructs, and of course there was no half mana start for constructs, but now there is one for elementals. So that is one thing that didn't previously have a half mana start that now does. There are a few things that already have overlap that does, for example, all of the troll troops, but in most of those instances, you'd probably just be using those with Titan. But in the case of those Guardian troops, it is actually more efficient to now start basically always using them with Maraji Queen. Not only can these things create Doom Skulls off of it, but you'd also have the half mana start that you'd be able to use with it to basically combine both of them together in the combination with its own Doom Skull creation that it has. And it also has Curse, which will get rid of any immunities that they might have. You can throw that in Stun, which is what we're going to be doing with the very next team that we're about to go show. Of course, using Obsidius for it. I wish our hero would go and lose that Entangle. Kind of funny that we're entangled while using Rope Dart. Let's see. Let's get that down for now. I guess we just kind of have to pass our turns until it goes away. Go from there. Hopefully it does not re-entangle us. But this team does not have a cleanse, so we do have to wait out the angle real quick. And now we can do something. Let's go steal that attack, and hopefully we get our loop going back again. We definitely have enough attack for it, that's for sure. And this should only need 2 more hits. And never mind, just the 1 hit. Get it off the hunter's mark, and that is dead. So that's pretty much that. And for one more PvP team, of course, Obsidius. And that's kind of funny, we're actually up against one as well. But we're using it, of course, with the Elemental. This is one of the things that was going to make Obsidius very good. I ended up mentioning it when Obsidius came into the game a couple weeks ago at the beginning of this month, that the main thing that would end up being utilized with would be in the future when Maraji Queen ends up getting added to the game. And of course, Maraji Queen is now added to the game, so that's one of its bigger synergies that it has. It's a really insanely good combination for disabling traits, basically the best combo in the game, Maraji Queen into Obsidius. You get to curse everything on Maraji Queen, which gets rid of all their immunities. You can then stun them, which in theory will disable every trait in the entire game except for Indestructible. Indestructible would be the only trait that would be safe from it, and currently the only player-owned troop that has Indestructible are Dooms, and no one currently runs Dooms because Dooms are pretty pointless. So yeah, pretty much every single thing in the game you'd be able to just curse stun if they weren't already capable of being stunned naturally. I'll also go through this down. Unfortunately, Obsidius' ability, pretty average. Actually, by average, I should say below average. It's not that good of ability, however, its stun is so valuable that it pretty much makes up for all of his lack of value there. Hopefully we can get at least one cast. There we go. I was trying to get a curse in there. Not like it really makes much of a difference if they're already stunned. But let's get that in there. They're a little bit hit, and it looks like he'll die on that burn even if we don't end up getting our turn there. And yes, that is the Maraji Queen and everything that it currently has to offer. It is definitely highly, highly, highly advised to go get that thing. Of course, there are a few really key ones through various factions, such as getting Maraji Queen off of Sunken Fleet, or things like Gargoyle off of Hall of Guardians. But definitely always good to keep an eye out for whatever troops might pop into various factions that might actually be viable, as there are always interesting mechanics that each ones have, and every single one of those are generally pretty easy to obtain within about a week simply by throwing shards at it. They're basically perpetually having event keys for it, so if you ever needed something like a Maraji Queen, it would always be available obtaining within just a few days to a week or so, and then just getting the orbs on it, and you already have a pretty solid troop that normally wouldn't have until like later parts of mid-game that you can get pretty early into the game simply by farming it off that faction. Anyways, guys, if you still have any other questions, feel free to leave in the comment section below. Thank you all so much for watching, and have a wonderful weekend. Goodbye, everyone!